Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are Festin Properties.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baluo?
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 What is Baluo?
Baluo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluo, better than sending money.
You welcome President Nugosina. You welcome President. You welcome the Negro. Wow.
bengo be luntan nala be kontona mba fulal be bismillah ñanan sangola trade fair min be jam mbe duwala fanan fo ala sen dunda kono kayra kono ay bonda kono kayra kono mba fulal be bismillah bako sate kono jam mbe duwala fanan fo trade fair ñing asita kayro kono ay bank kayro kono once again mbe na kondondro flanila president wala bake mbe duwala fanan fo do ko min bala asa asamba nyaso ne andaye kila anin saibol horomoto alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.
Your Excellency the President of the Republic Mr. Adama Barrow, honorable ministers here present, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, members of the board of directors of the GCCI, including past board members and past presidents, our special guest from Senegal Union of Chambers of Commerce, Mr. Serigne Boub, President Abdoulaye Sow, and business leaders here present, sponsors of this trade fair, the media fraternity, the Gambia Police Band, the security service chiefs, and all invited guests. We say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Your Excellency, the private sector is quite pleased to welcome you home. You are one of us. You are our commander-in-chief when it comes to engaging in trade as your previous life because of your entrepreneurship. So the GCCI Trade Fair is a continuation of your entrepreneurial journey that you have left behind for us to take up. It therefore gives me great honor and privilege to invite all distinguished guests to this 13th edition of Trade Fair Gambia. Ladies and gentlemen, you will all agree that this trade fair is actually the biggest and largest coming together of private businesses, entrepreneurs, public corporations, community-based organizations, multilateral and bilateral partners, and so on and so forth, to come and showcase various products, services, and even relay messages that they want to get out there to the public. Over the years, we have had over 60,000 visitors coming in to grace the trade fair from beginning to end. We expect this year to be no different, notwithstanding the COVID. This year's participants come from far and wide across the region, including international participants. Through our partnerships with various organizations and public institutions, more and more micro, small, and medium enterprises who otherwise could not afford to participate in the fair have been provided with grants to take up their rightful positions. For this, we say a very big thank you to these magnanimous sponsors. We've also gotten farmers, most of whom being women from rural areas, coming to showcase their products at this event. We want to single out the European Union Youth Empowerment Project through the TECIFI for the support they continue to render to Gambian youths. The Chamber is committed to engaging and supporting youth, women, and American Chamber under an all-inclusive strategy and approach to ensure diversity, and yet a collective and collaborative approach to serving our constituents based on harmonized policies to deliver maximum impact and benefit to the members. Over the years, we have observed with utmost delight an increase in youth participation in the trade fair consistent with the growth in number of youth-owned businesses, a trajectory very similar to the one we have seen with the women in prior years. In recognition of the growing need to support youth-owned businesses, the GCCI has partnered with the Youth Empowerment Project since 2017 to create a dedicated youth platform which is branded and dedicated to the youth to showcase their products and services. Ladies and gentlemen, this should not come as a surprise, because trade, as we all know, is the one and only profession of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, separate from his prophethood designated to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We therefore pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless the trade fair with barakah and tawfiq and benefits beyond all our expectations. Ameen. Despite the huge challenges of COVID-19 during the last 15 months, the GCCI Board of Directors and Management have been steadfast in their commitment to support our business community and the public at large. Our members and society responded in an unprecedented way to the call by donating generously to a COVID fund of 14 million, spearheaded by our visionary president, Idrissa Mas Diop, with the view to complementing government efforts in stopping the spread of the virus by reinforcing the implementation of the WHO and government measures and availing medical supplies and equipment to treat those who were positive. The board went further to invest over 12 million of its own funds to develop part of our own trade fair site in Brusubi, which has been made available to the Ministry of Health to complement the COVID-19 treatment infrastructure and currently being used to administer COVID testing and vaccinations to the general public. Your Excellency, we are encouraged with the outcome of the government and the private sector partnership in responding to the COVID pandemic, which has enabled us to get the 14th edition of the trade fair edition going. And this is a signal and demonstration of the readiness that Gambia is resumed and ready to open for business, albeit under a safe COVID-19 environment, considering the difficult and challenging year we have endured. At this juncture, it is fitting for us at the GCCI to acknowledge His Excellency's recognition of the partnership cooperation and the tremendous contributions made by the Chamber and other private sector operators in fighting this pandemic over the last year or so. Your Excellency, we are equally pleased to inform you that through support from your Ministries of Works and Infrastructure and Foreign Affairs, the Government of India has pledged to start construction of a world-class trade fair site at our National Trade Fair Center in Brusubi. With the support of the African Development Bank project through the Inclusive Growth Promotion and Institutional Support Project, we are proud to have delivered improvements in the standards and quality of stalls comparable to state-of-the-art tents in global exhibitions, as you can see in this edition here today. The project has went further, Your Excellency, to support the GCCI in commissioning a 140 kilowatt solar system which is being used at the GCCI office and trade fair site to promote the use of renewable energy amongst the private sector and promote greener and environmentally friendly businesses. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the GCCI, being the representative body of the private sector, will continue to advocate for the interest of the business community in creating an enabling and competitive environment for businesses to flourish. In this regard, the Chamber will continue to engage with our line ministry, the Ministry of Trade, and through the National Business Council for trade policies anchored on putting the Gambian businesses first. Indigenous Gambian businesses have to come first in all key sectors of the Gambian economy, either individually or as a consortium or as local content providers with the view to building capacity to take up similar projects or participate in similar markets in future in the event that they fall short of requirements to be awarded contracts individually or collectively. Mr. President, as our chief patron, we are once again seeking your patronage for a fair share of indigenous Gambian businesses in government business and projects. While the creation of employment opportunities by government can be limited, there is no such limited when it comes to the private sector, so long as we continually innovate and develop new business concepts, products, and services for new markets. The Gambia is uniquely and strategically positioned to access markets within Senegambia, ECOWAS, and Africa with population sizes of 20 million, 350 million, and 1.3 billion, taking advantage of various bilateral and regional trade agreements and the new African Continental Free Trade Area, not to mention the global markets of Europe, the USA, South America, and Asia, with the first three continents being within 6 to 8 hours of flight time from our shores. Your Excellency, the private sector is committed to creating wealth. In this regard, we will pay our fair share of taxes to government and local authorities to discharge its functions. In return, we are calling on your government to help us in building the infrastructure to enable government to thrive and grow so that we can continue to generate the revenues and make our rightful contributions to the economy. One of such improvements is with regard to the high-speed broadband internet, as the face of business is changing and is changing rapidly. The days when business are conducted along the high streets and markets is getting more and more smaller, whilst more and more is going on to the internet and other online platforms. It will be crucial that Gambia is well positioned to take advantage of these new developments. Your Excellency, Mr. President, distinguished guests, we are reassured and supported by your address to the nation on Monday on the spiraling crime rates in recent times. The public and the business community has been very concerned over the safety and protection of their lives, livelihoods, staff, personal and business assets and properties. But as you rightly stated, this phenomenon cannot be tolerated at all, and more so in a year with less than 7 months to elections. So we are looking forward to the efforts of the local law enforcement agencies to nip the surge in these criminal activities in the bud and restore confidence in the security of our country. In conclusion, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express the profound gratitude of our President Idrissa Mas Diop to his fellow board directors. Amongst them, Mr. Ibrahim Vari, the second Vice President who is not able to join us, Mr. Njundu Fati, our Treasurer, Mariama Adulet Si, a member of the board, Umi Sise, a member of the board, Bajara Jabi, also a board member, Fatou Sise, a board member, Usman Jobate, a board member, Halifa Nyang, a board member, and Minyan Jo, for their continued support and confidence, and more so the management under the leadership of the Chief Executive Aliou Seka for their tireless efforts in moving the agenda of the private sector forward. At this point, our thought and special prayers go out to the family of the late Hassan M.B. Jallo, a former treasurer of us, and also Alaji Ali Mboj, a past president who unfortunately we lost during the course of this year. Special commendation will go to the chairman of the Trade Fair Committee, Mr. Bajara Jabi, and his members. So, Mr. Jabi, we also acknowledge the support for their gallant organization of this trade fair under very strange and unprecedented conditions. We thank our hosts, the community of Bakau, and also the management and staff for this independent stadium for continuing to be our host over these years. We will continue to be the anchor and voice of businesses across all sectors and demographics in the Gambia. The essence of trade, ladies and gentlemen, trade that is embedded on fair principles is to ensure that we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. This is a quote from Winston Churchill, and hence my closing of this statement. I thank you very much for your kind attention. May Allah bless the 14th edition Trade Fair and the Gambia, our motherland. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
We are present, the President and CEO of Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, board members of Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, members of diplomatic and consular corps, senior government officials here present, national and international participants, invited guests from Senegal, the Kaolack and Dakar Chamber of Commerce, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me first apologize for the absence of my Honorable Minister, Ms. Honorable Sidi Keita, who could not be here with us today due to an official assignment outside the country, and therefore asked me to represent him on this opening. Your Excellency, the Gambia Chamber of Commerce has been an outstanding partner to the government of the Gambia in shaping our businesses, and this has been clearly demonstrated by the stance and effort made by the chambers during the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, Your Excellency, on behalf of the Minister, I want to reiterate the support of the Ministry to GCCI, not only as a private sector umbrella body, but also as an important stakeholder for the Ministry in promoting private sector development in the Gambia. Since last year, we've seen negative impact of COVID-19 pandemic on both our business and livelihood of our people. However, many of the required measures taken directly affected the business and flow of goods, particularly the food supply chain, have been very positive. All of us have seen the need to adjust and come up with innovative ways of supporting businesses and trade flows to make our economy more resilient in the face of the pandemic. The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment is therefore glad and wishes to thank the Gambia Chamber of Commerce for organizing this event. The trade fairs will continue to provide an excellent platform for our businesses to showcase their products and network those that have better understanding of the global distribution channel. This year's fairs is therefore special as is one way to boost confidence of businesses, particularly the micro, small, and medium enterprises. At this point, I want to reiterate government resolve to support the MSMEs to have serve as engines and bedrock of our economy in providing livelihood for the owners, as well as creating majority of jobs for our citizens. The Ministry has thus been working closely with partners and stakeholders, both in public and private sector, to achieve this objective. Through the Gambia Revenue Authority, GRA, the government maintained flexible payment plan for the business community in terms of allowing more times to pay taxes and duties, as well as providing tax breaks to businesses struggling to generate profit to pay their taxes. GRA has also introduced 20% reduction of indicative CIF valuations of essential commodities to complement both the ministries and the GPA in providing priority berthing of vessels carrying essential commodities to reduce demurrage. Again, the removal of import restriction on certain basic commodities is also paying dividend. All these are down to ensure the continued supply of essential commodities at affordable price during difficult moments due to COVID and to support businesses and livelihood. The ministry is also aware of the need to invest in the long-term structural policy environment to create opportunity for digital and financial inclusions, as well as entrepreneurial skills and capacity development to support the business ecosystem in the Gambia. We are therefore working closely with GCCI on the implementation of business environment reform programs and the National Business Council. This is complemented with the ministry's engagement and collaboration with partners under the UNDP-funded entrepreneurship and private sector development projects. The YEP, that's Youth Empowerment Projects, the Sea Trades in the Gambia project implemented by the ITC. All this intervention aims at providing direct support to strengthen production capacity of micro, small, medium enterprises, to improve the quality of their products, support market linkages, entrepreneurship, and skills development. Through this initiative, we are able to provide grants to many of the youth and women businesses. And we are able to support many as well to participate in trade fairs, particularly those of our own, like this one. Your Excellency, in conclusion, therefore let me take the opportunity on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Trade to once again thank the management and board of the GCCI, as well as sponsors for their excellent work, which made it possible for us to gather here today. I also wish to thank all participants of trade fairs for a successful exhibition and networking. Thank you very much.
Excellencies, GCCI President and Board Directors, Vice President, GCCI, Mr. Babukar Khan, business leaders, distinguished guests, members of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, local and international exhibitors, ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely pleased to join you all for the 14th edition of the Trade Fair Gambia International. Happily, this year's trade fair follows the unfortunate cancellation of the 2020 event. It is for the reason that as Chief Patron of GCCI, I consider it especially necessary to come in person to demonstrate and express my government's firm solidarity with the business community. Last year, everyone in the world was affected by the pandemic in one way or another. Apart from loss of loved ones, livelihoods were either threatened or shattered. In the Gambia, as in many other developing countries, the economy is driven mainly by small businesses. Many of the women and youth running such businesses struggle to survive when the country and markets had to observe an extraordinary lockdown. Medium and large businesses alike suffer immensely because many of their customers either could not afford the goods and services offered or could not reach them physically. As a responsible government, we decided to support the people in various ways to the tune of $850 million. An additional $224 million, together with contributions from our partners, had to be spent for similar reasons. Today, it is refreshing to recall that, like all patriotic and concerned citizens, the GCCI complemented government efforts with the Businesses Against COVID-19 initiative. The $20 million raised by the Chamber in partnership with UNDP was quite substantial. I have taken note of the way the money was wisely disbursed, and we applaud the Chamber for the keen sense of responsibility that prompted the initiative. The tremendous support rendered to the prison service, the complete rehabilitation of the forced treatment center at the sanatorium, the supplies and equipment donated to the health sector, the support to the local councils for their communities, and the sensitization activities executed were all suitably targeted. Impressively too, the GCCI made its trade fair site and equipment available for COVID-19 testing and vaccination. This is superb. In light of the important role of the Chamber in national affairs, I take this opportunity to call upon the Gambia private sector to participate more actively in the activities of GCCI. The Chamber is an institution for the entire local business community, and it represents the sector responsively. Ladies and gentlemen, recognizing that the private sector acts as an engine of growth, the work of the GCCI affects every one of us in the Gambia. A flourishing private sector indicates a healthy economy. From this point of view, we invite all private sector actors to take up the challenge and responsibility of ensuring a thriving private sector in order to make the Gambia a progressive country for all. With regard to Sustainable Development Goal 9, we believe that the effective private sector partnership leads to sustainable inclusive growth through employment creation, revenue generation, and enhancement of livelihoods. Guided by this belief, the government fully supports the private sector to provide essential business services and goods for the common good. In return, I advise you, work closely with the Ministry of Trade and Industry in the interest of both partners. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the National Business Council, presided over by the Vice President, regularly brings together key government ministers and GCCI officials to discuss matters of business reform in the country. It is to cement this relationship further that the Chamber participates in relevant official missions. My government also supports strongly the development of the GCCI trade fair site at Bruceby. Consequently, The Council and partners are pursuing the establishment of an appropriate venue where we can host more fairs and support our local entrepreneurs. All these quite amply demonstrate government's commitment to building partnerships. I understand and appreciate that, in line with our call for investment in agriculture, a strong emphasis on agribusinesses is gradually emerging. This is laudable, as it is estimated to cut down about $50 million on rice importation so that we can eat what we grow. Furthermore, it means of creating employment for the youth and for other women and men who are interested in improving their welfare. With many female entrepreneurs and young persons linked to small and medium enterprises, forming a large part of the exhibitors, we hope that the 3 weeks ahead will bring the public together to discover what our local entrepreneurs and companies, as well as the regional entrepreneurs and international companies, have to offer. I encourage both parties to make the most of the opportunities available for networking, matchmaking, and discovery, among others. I wish and pray that all the participants, both citizens and non-citizens, have a very successful trade fair. While acknowledging that the Chamber has taken measures to organize a safe fair, I must remind all participants and visitors to respect the WHO and government protocols of wearing masks and hand washing and safe distancing. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my delight to officially declare the 2021 GCCI Trade Fair open. Today we are making history here. I don't know whether it is a coincidence or it is arranged, but all the speakers who are supposed to speak here today, it is myself, Babukar Khan, and Sidi Keita. We are all former mates of Muslim High School, 1988. Thank you.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamtel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamtel, Yaibaram.
I get it. Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyenje.
Okay. Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. I get it.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya.
Mbare.
Mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jang.
Ha?
Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannam number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale le dadi ma nin domorol ni fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ma fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e binaji.
Yalo bu kanila ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.